Well guys, it's been 2 weeks since Dark Voyager left, and now he has arrived in the Fortnite island. As you can see right there, he is already spawning his tractor beam, where he's going to be extracting out the 0 point shard, and he's going to be placing it towards the Reality 783 shard. And it just happened not too long ago. This whole event could change the entirety of the Fortnite storyline as we know it, as Dark Voyager is preparing to get more shards from different realities, as you see here, which will lead to the beginnings of Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 2 in the coming months, as well as grabbing the remaining 0 point shards to fully rebuild the 0 point, not just for world peace, but also for total control of the entire 0 point. But the whole thing that Dark Voyager is orchestrating is causing major consequences to all the inhabitants of Reality 266, presumably the new Reality 0, as whenever the 0 point goes, that's where it stands. If you take a look right here, here's the tractor beam where it's about to extract the second shard out of the spaceship where Dark Voyager's in. And soon in the next couple of days, once it reveals the second shard, Dark Voyager is going to place that next to the Reality 783 shard, which still it is unsure if, as you can see, I am floating up right here, I don't know why, but would ultimately bring the second shard and merge it with the first shard, which would mark the beginning of the reconstruction of the 0 point. And yeah guys, don't click off because there's a lot of more important information that I'm going to be explaining, as well as images that are either concept arts or presumably fan arts. I am still not sure if this is real yet, but I'm going to have to confirm that. Leaked images on where new skins for the Chapter 7 Season 2 Battle Pass, as well as more images coming soon where the third, fourth, and fifth shards are going to be merging with the Reality 783 shard pretty soon. The second shard that's going to be coming out, and right now Dark Voyager spaceship is just releasing its cube energy across Lethal Labs, which is literally happening again for the first time since 2 weeks. Sometimes I hate being right. That Dark Voyager is bad news. Only that quote, I assume that's brand new, but nothing else from Jones yet. Until the whole 0 point has been rebuilt within the next couple of weeks to months, he's gonna get new lines where you talk to Jones. And honestly, I want to know what it's like for the last reality to control the whole 0 point, other than just destroying the Omniverse, because the last reality's job is to destroy the entire Omniverse and bring back the nothing. But apparently they're somehow rebuilding the 0 point in a way where it's not just for, bringing back the nothing, but more eternal suffering for all of us, or something like that, which is very weird because their goal is to destroy the 0 point. Their goal is to adopt the 0 point, because we saw that from the unreleased file for Fortnite Fracture where the mothership just adopted the 0 point, and then all of a sudden the 0 point fights back. And I believe that, I could be wrong, but the last reality must have given up trying to take the 0 point and try to destroy it in a way where they can bring back the nothing. But they want to do a much more bigger plan. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all Phase 1. Chapter 7 as of now is Phase 2, where they would have to take full extensional control of the entire 0 point, and once they rebuild it, they can probably turn us into, their... You know what I mean. Which could be horrible for the inhabitants of Reality 266. And that could be essentially horrifying because Dark Voyager is an extremely powerful character, and he is an extremely higher rank. He's like the Herald of the Nothing, despite my comments saying, oh no, he's not the Herald of the Nothing, despite having a cube. The Herald, aka the Blue Watcher, is the Herald of the Nothing. But I'll have to call out right now, guys. Dark Voyager is in fact the Herald of the Nothing. He works for the Nothing. He does what the Nothing tells him to do. And wherever he says goes, which... right now, Dark Voyager is doing what he says. He is now bringing 0 point shards from different realities. And I'm going to be going through right now on what Phase 2 is going to be like. Especially now the Order is being held in prison. I don't know why she's missing her head and it appears back. Despite that, the Order is now being held in a prison cell. And soon, the last of the 7 members, including Geno, despite Geno is probably in the Golden Galaxy right now, he's going to be held in the same cell as the Order and assumed to be corrupted into last reality members. Just like with the Scientist, the Visitor, the Origin, despite the Origin's already, as the Cube King because he has the authority of the cubes, and especially for the Foundation and Snapshot Imagine, despite the real Imagine is deceased. And we don't have to go through Paradigm because she sacrificed herself during Fracture when she activated Zero Fusion. And now that most of the 7 characters, excluding the Paradigm and the real Imagined, not the Snapshot Imagined, the real Imagined, they are all going to be new members of the last reality as a result. We saw what happened to the Scientist as he was taken by the Chrome and was turned to a member of the last reality, according to these voice lines.
Paradigm, if you're listening to this, it means I'm gone. I don't know where they took and I don't know if I'll be back. I promised we'd never leave you alone again, and I promised freeing the 0 point would be safe. Everything's my fault, so whatever happens to me, I deserve it. I programmed Amy to take care of you and whoever's left. I hope there are people left. I'm sorry it ended like this. I've always...
And then he ended up getting cut off. We saw the same thing for the Origin, which he is probably turned back to the Cube King, despite the Cube Queen is similarly deceased because of the end event. And then you get the Foundation, which I'm going to show you a hit list right now one more time. The Foundation is the 7th person to be on the hit list to be killed. First is the Imagined, who is already deceased. Second is the bus driver, and the 7th one is the Foundation, which turns out that the Foundation is actually still alive. Even though he has been taken by the Chrome, it's clear and all that despite all this evidence that you see here, the Foundation is alive and well and is currently safe somewhere in another reality. But the Foundation is still in danger and is soon going to be taken by Dark Voyager at some point around the near future, somewhere around Season 3 or Season 4, depending on the circumstances. And if the Foundation gets taken, he could probably be like the next General. Despite that, the General skin, as you see right here, which is an unreleased skin, probably looks almost similar to that of the Foundation, despite the General is a Chimera species. If the Foundation gets corrupted, that it could mean that it would look like similar to that of the General, which would be extremely bad news, because if the Foundation gets corrupted by the last reality, he could be like similar to that of Dark Voyager and the General and the Herald all combined, because mind you, the Foundation controls chromium. Not chrome, the substance where you saw it's like a living metal, but I'm talking about actual element chromium, where he created the Spire. And to be fair, the Foundation has failed everything. He wants to protect the 0 point, and he will do better than Geno, as he claims that before Geno died, he wanted to protect the 0 point, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, the Herald comes in, he goes missing, and he didn't do a great job protecting the 0 point as he wanted to. The 7's goal is to free the 0 point and destroy the loop. They did in fact destroy the loop and free the 0 point. Way too low, and the last reality took far, because mind you, the Foundation mentions about threats like the last reality. As you saw in the beginning of Fortnite Chapter 3, he mentions about serious threats like the last reality as they are still being endangered. Which he already knows that soon, once the last reality takes full control, there's absolutely no going back, and it would be members like Dark Voyager, the Herald, the Cube Queen if she survived. Now that the Origin is under control, it could be worse from here. It'll get to the point that once Dark Voyager travels these realities, he's gonna go get some other people, and then the Foundation, I assume. And then finally, Geno, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, but I could be correct at the same time, because we haven't seen Geno in so long. Even though we only saw the Ageless, we never got an actual Geno skin. We only got the Ageless, which is Geno's snapshot. And in some time, I could assure you, sometime in the near future, we could be getting a Geno skin. I could be wrong for the order, but this is what she's going to be looking like around Season 2 as it's coming up, or probably later on. More information, I want to tell you something, guys. I don't think Paradigm died, because we already saw what happened with the Foundation. When he was able to seal the 0 point using the chromium with the Spire, he was able to trap himself in the 0 point, and he didn't even die, because, you know, when it comes to the Spire, you have to sacrifice yourself to literally close in the 0 point and make sure that it is not exposed to any threats. But when it comes to the Spire, however, it's a pretty different scenario, other than Zero Fusion, in which the Paradigm has to be included and she had to sacrifice himself. And people thought the Foundation died. Sloan even thought that the Foundation died, but he was still alive, luckily. It could be possible that the Paradigm is not even dead. She might be still alive, but she's probably ejected to a completely different reality at some sort, and we're probably going to see her again in the near future if this goes to plan. Now guys, as more 0 point shards arrive in the next couple of weeks to months, all the way here to the Chapter 7 island, rebuilding the full 0 point, subscribe for more updates.